Hello and welcome back, guys. You are gaming with me, Brothgar, and today I've got some more Planet Coaster for you. Now, in the last episode, you saw me build this roller coaster that goes through all these different caves. It kind of goes through this first cave up high and then drops down through a big hole and kind of goes off and does some really fast things. However, I was only somewhat satisfied with that last coaster, so I ended up actually just deleting the entire thing and starting over, and built an even better coaster in its place. Because that last one, it was okay. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're going to have to go watch the last episode because, well, frankly, it isn't here anymore. Anyhow, though, this is the green monster that I replaced it with here, and I had to go with the same sort of wing setup that I did my very first roller coaster, which, if you didn't see that one, you're going to have to go watch that one. But that one is over here. And because I wanted to use linear motors to kind of take care of the hill action at the end. And that last one had a long lift at the end of the roller coaster because we start up on a hill and then it goes on down. So let me just show you what we got going on here. So I built this roller coaster over here. It first comes right over here, goes right down through this first cave. And this part here is pretty slow, but then all of a sudden it comes into the big drop right here. Look at that. That's a fun drop. Now the last one I did actually went straight down here and right through the tunnel. But this one allows me to do a lot more inversions and whatnot. The Giga Coaster there just was, it seems like it was a little bit too much alpha. It wouldn't let you go upside down and didn't have any pre-made loops or anything. So this one's the wing coaster. It comes on up here, kisses the island floating in the sky, goes back down through a very big loop right there. And then we get into that same sort of setup here where we're going straight through the tunnel right here, and then we come on over here, do a nice little roll, and then we go into like my jet loop or something. This is just a really cool freeform turn that I made right here, and it's probably my best or favorite turn I've ever done in a roller coaster, and we'll see that one in action right there, and goes through a back loop and then goes right back up to the top there. Anyhow, I got a cool time lapse of me making this roller coaster, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. Alrighty, so there we go. We got a nice overview of that. Let's go ahead and give it a ride, shall we? Because that's what we really want to do. Right now I'm in the testing phase. I'm still got to figure out the paths for this entire park right now, and we're just not there yet. So what I really wanted to do, my theory, you can see there's other stuff that's in the background. I had a day where I was just building like crazy. You know, I was kind of homesick, and I'm like, what am I going to do? Well, play Planet Coaster. That seems like a fun idea. And so that's what I did. And you don't really need to do anything, but I wasn't recording that day. So I built a lot of stuff. We'll get to some of this other rides that you see here in the next episode. But anyhow, we go through that little slow bit right there and drop into that first drop. Here we go up top. This is cool. I love that. Nice little barrel roll, and this is that turn I was talking about right there. That took about 20 minutes so just to refine and get just right. And then we come right back on up here, and just like many of my roller coasters, just barely catch the lip that you need at the end just to kind of get through the whole ride right there. So, there it is, and that makes a much faster return back to this top right there. Not a very long ride, but compared to the other one, it makes more sense because, let's face it, I'm just not building at the back of park yet. So if I want to make a coaster that goes through the entire park, well then I'll do it once I have some more stuff built into it. Otherwise, it just looks weird. So that's it. That's my upgrade to that coaster. And you know what? I think that is much better than what we had last time. It looks pretty cool. I like it. I thoroughly enjoy how it all came out. And I like the fact that it starts off really slow and then just builds lots of momentum. And then just drops right down through. So here we can go. We can kind of see it from a distant perspective to get an idea of the speed. I would say the smoothing feature, as far as building roller coasters, is still my favorite feature yet. I don't know if that barrel roll would kill people or not, but look at that turn. Beautiful. I just think it's so cool that you can make giant loops like this. I would love to actually kind of take this bit right here, whatever the instructions are that took me to build this, and make that into like pre-made loops that I could then refer to for different roller coasters. I think that'd be pretty cool. I don't know. There's a blueprints button down right here. That's new. And we'll just have to see what all that happens right there. Anyhow, though, so that's the new roller coaster I built right there. I think it's pretty neat. You guys have to let me know. Better, worse than the last one? I think it's definitely better, and I think it's a little bit more fitting. We'll get to this giant vertical drop roller coaster next time, guys. You can kind of see my theory, though, for the park, as far as we'll have some sort of path that walks up into the floating island in the sky here, and then it'll connect to these two rides over here and some of the extreme rides on this hill, and then ties back down there. It seems like the traffic, which you can see right now, I've got tons and tons of people in this park, and they're just stacked on top of each other. But this park seems to really like the idea of, or shall we say, traffic really seems to like the idea of having a loop to be able to walk. Dead ends don't seem to get a lot of traffic, so anywhere you can make a loop that draws people past rides and then attracts them with like these little food stands and stuff, that seems to make a big difference. So that's what I'm going to try to do, build a loop and whatnot. Anyhow, for the second coaster today, I decided to put something down here. You saw last time I had a couple of these, you know, just rides, whatever they were, little carousel things, I don't know, whatever they were. You know, kind of like this octopus thing, which I put over here, mostly because it is always in the shadow of the big island right there, and you can see how it just has all these floating lights and stuff on it. I put that there intentionally just because I knew it was going to be dark. I think it's cool. I think there's another one that actually lights up right down here. If I go to rides, the green one, yeah, Psycholia or whatever this thing is. This thing here actually lights up if you were to place it down, which I'll just place it for the sake of it just to show you. But this thing lights up as well, so that might find its way onto this floating island as well, or if I make another one. I don't know. I'm starting to feel like this one's getting a little bit lonely, so I might make something a little bit farther back. But I decided to put a children's roller coaster over here, and you know what? This one isn't half bad. Since this one's a little bit slower, let me go ahead and explain it while we ride it here. So let's get this test going up. There we go. Initialize test. And for the sake of it, let's go ahead and try cinematic mode here. This children roller coaster, whatever it is, I don't know, whatever, junior coaster, that's a good way of putting it, only has these wheels, so you can't really go that steep of an incline. Although I did give them some sense of vertigo right there because, you know, you gotta make it interesting for the adults too. So I don't know. It's kind of got an interesting style to it. It goes up kind of slow, but we've got some cool elements into it. But I like the cinematic camera watch. Sometimes it works really good for some of these roller coasters, for sure. Anyhow, we drop into about the steepest hill you can make right there, and then move on over, kind of the first ride right there. And we'll just start a slope down. You know, to be honest, you really can't get a good perspective of what's going on here. So let me go ahead and just see if I can get onto it. There we go. So you just kind of get a bit of a loop, and I'm just tying it in with some of these other roller coasters. One of the things I've noticed is that these crowds that are moving on right here, is that as a roller coaster goes over them, you can see them get excited. So having rides close to people that are looking to get onto rides, I think is really going to help people's energy as far as the park. I think that'll become an element in the game at some point. It isn't right now. But I have a couple of these little like funnel corkscrew things. And the thing about those is that as you smooth them, they actually get a fair bit tighter. So when it comes to smoothing corners like that, those were actually quite a bit bigger. But as you smooth them down, they will actually shrink down and become more intense. Sometimes they don't necessarily get smooth as well. So you kind of gotta watch the tool right there. Let me go ahead and just show you that. I'll edit this track. Just give you an idea. I actually did smooth one so far that I was actually able to make this roller coaster go upside down. But anyhow, though, I don't know. I gave it some more extreme bits right there just because I don't want kids growing up on wussy roller coasters. They gotta have something a little bit exciting so that they can keep up with the rest of my park right here. Because I don't know if you've ever gone to like a theme park with somebody who's just scared of roller coasters. I don't know. That can be a difficult experience sometimes, especially if you're somebody who loves to ride the extreme stuff and there's somebody who just doesn't. But all you gotta do is strap yourself into the extreme stuff, you know, once or twice, and you eventually get used to it. But then again, I don't know. Maybe they got more legitimate fears. Like, I really don't like ladders, but it's not that I have a big problem with heights. Anyhow, let me go ahead and edit this track, what I was talking about here. So, one of the cool things that I've learned that as I've started to work with this, as I select more bits of track, you can see that I've still got controls here. Left, right, up, down, corner, so I can change its angle, but I can also make this thing bigger in size. So sometimes this really helps you out. So let's say we smooth this, but it got too tight. You can kind of do this number right there and just change all of that at the same time. These controls for roller coasters are just absolutely awesome. Or if you were to drop it down, you can kind of squish this a little bit. So if we just wanted to like calm it out a little bit, and then if you hit smooth, you'll see how it kind of starts to shrink things down just because it's trying to make them smoother. So sometimes you will just select a whole area and then use a smooth to figure it out. I don't know. The way these tracks are modified and they work together just to make a cool... I don't know. I don't know what to say. You can see it happening right there. It's absolutely awesome. Building roller coasters in this game is legit. Here we go. We can see how we've altered this corner. And you know what? I feel like that's quite a bit better than what I had previously, because it was just kind of tight last time. That's much smoother. But you saw how easy it was to edit the track to make that change. What can I say? These controls are off the hook. Well, there you have it. Junior Vertigo, if that's what we want to call it right there. You get a little crispy at the end here with the flying rocket. The hamburger rocket. Yeah, I got a time lapse of me making this roller coaster right here. So I'm going to show that in the background while I read through some of your comments from the last video. This is a far cry from Disney's Coaster, says David. And you know what? You're absolutely right. I went and looked that game up. That was a long time ago. Even a big, I don't know. These roller coaster games have come a long way, and this one here is looking to be the absolute best ever created to date. Nicolas Cage Gaming! Yes! More Planet Coaster with time lapses and amazing NCS music. Your videos are always amazing, and the series is my favorite. Thanks so much, Nicolas Cage Gaming. Dare Snaps, all these roller coasters you're making would be epic to ride in real life. Nice. VR support, you know what? I gotta see if this game actually does support stereographic rendering. If so, there's definitely a VR video waiting to happen. Yes, I've been waiting for this since the last one. Sorry it took so long. I had friends over and stuff. Just having a life. But I want to get these videos uploading much more regularly. Either twice to 3 times a week is my goal. GR33N Acid says, hey Brothgar, cool video. You can remove the supports from coasters and paths if you place a scenery rock or something like that to blind the support right there. It doesn't make it anyhow. And yes, I did actually figure that out. I was gonna give that tip, but hey, you gave it to me as well. But that totally works. You can move the rock you formed into the train. Yes, one of those areas where I did that was up here on this vertical drop roller coaster. You guys are gonna have to wait to see this in the next episode. But I put some trees and rocks right here just to delete some of the crazy supports that are being created by this structure right up here. So, pro tip right there. Pro tip, dude. That's a good one. And that is probably why in my Vertigo roller coaster there are so few actual supports. Not only the way the roller coaster is designed, but the amount of vegetation that I have below it, or scenery stuff. But hey, that's alright. This stuff's alpha anyhow. Hopefully these supports will get better. Some of them are just get a little bit crazy. And the fact that the support blocks bleed through the bottom side of the train, that's kind of annoying too. Lucas Hudson, nice roller coaster. You did exactly what I said and loved your reaction. Roller coaster does seem to start far away from everything else. Yep, and which might be a little bit of a problem. That's why I'm trying to kind of build in the rest of the rides right there, just to get an idea of what my park layout's going to be, and then I'll fill in the path around that. Sometimes you build a path, and then you have to go back and delete it, and then you have to go make more paths. I figured I might as well just put the rides where I want them and then build the paths afterwards. Because as the game currently is, there's no real objective to it right now, and money's pretty much infinite. So you don't have to worry about a ride sitting there for a long time, not making any money. However, I think when the game is fully developed and you're actually trying to do objectives, you're going to have to build paths and get your rides up and running and maintenance them and all that jazz. Next, you should try a water coaster. Currently, there is only little spray guys. There's no water in the game just yet, but if they add it, I'm going to give it a try. Nice floating island. Thanks so much, Boss Gaming. So tempted to get this game. You know what? It's definitely good. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It's going to be quite a bit cheaper. Right now, you have to pay $70 to get into the early access, so you pay for the game, plus a little bit to help them, get the game up and running. I liked it enough to where I didn't have any problem with that, plus the fact that I'm using it to make YouTube videos. So that is the price of entry, though, at the current moment, and it's not a complete game, so you gotta weigh it out. Can you do Planet Coaster 3 times a week? Trying it. Now, there were 2 comments in here I skipped on over here. Boss Game, it says, Brothgar, you should make a roller coaster inside the cave. But XX Minecrafter XX says, make a roller coaster that is like a Metro. Guys, I have answered your question right here, but it's going to be in the next episode. But let me give you a little bit of taster. So I put in the path right here. I kind of dug it out and stuff. And right next to this nice extreme ride. But what is this little cave right here? What is this? What is this? What? Look at this roller coaster inside of here. Holy cow. What is going on? Are you kidding me? Yeah. Next time, guys, you've seen 2 roller coasters. I haven't really covered them, but you're going to get to see them, and you're going to get to ride them. You might have saw another little bit right here. Oh, what's going on over here? What? Well, there you have it, guys. 2 roller coasters down, 2 more to go. I'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Peace. Brothgar out. And if I've earned your subscription, then thank you so much for that. Okay, here we go. Come on! Yeah! Woo! Woo! I totally got him! Come on, baby, go, 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 go! Do it! Do it! Do it! Oh yeah! Get some of that! Get some of that! That was building a roller coaster on a floating island right there. Pretty cool idea. Fun stuff. I enjoyed it. 1 million. There we go. Now we're talking. That's the sound of money if I ever heard it. Woo! It's kind of got a weird ring to it. I'm liking it so far. Bye-bye!